Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Thanks so much for joining me today for this awesome boot review. I've got one of my favorite boots of all time that I have worn. It's in leather though this time, which I'm so excited for. And of course, I'm talking about the Puma Ultra 1.2 in the LazerTouch Special Edition. Let's hop into it. All right, so per usual, Puma box. Very low key, even for special edition boots, they don't do anything with the boxes or the inside. Doesn't come with a string bag, doesn't come with any of that. Part of that could be the extra 25 bucks or 50 bucks that they take off the price, because the normal Puma Ultra and the Puma Future both retail at $200 US, whereas most of their competitors are at the 225 and up range. So that's kind of cool, awesome value for money. And this particular pair of football boots, the 1.1 and 1.2, they're basically the same, were a very special boot because those are what I wore in in Australia when I was training and playing with my NPL team. So fantastic. They were wide fitting. I loved them. They moved to technologically a better pair of football boots in the 1.3s that I've reviewed recently, but I don't think they fit my foot as well. And so I'm really interested to see how this leather edition fits. So let's open the box. Comes with, again, very basic box. There's nothing to write home about. It is just white paper, brown box with that red exterior. We'll open it up. Ooh, yep. So all white pair of Puma Ultras, and that is what you're getting. They have a patented technology that's just like a laser engraving for the leather upper, so I think that looks fabulous. It looks so cool on here. You get a little bit more leather on this pair of football boots than you do on the Future Z 1.1 LazerTouch, which I also have reviewed, and this one's actually a lot thinner because instead of it being along with some of the padding in the Future, this is just a straight piece of leather, so that's super cool. We'll talk about that in a minute. Let's open this up, get these boots out. And while I'm talking, I'm just going to take some of the cardboard and stuff out of here. So the Puma Ultra, they haven't done anything super spectacular with this pair of boots. They've sort of just put some extra leather on the upper and made that entire forefoot leather, which I think is super, super cool. So how this works, so these are the boots. There you go. Drink it in. Absolutely beautiful. This in its non-leather form is the lightest pair of football boots on the market. Obviously, even with the new generation, it continues that super, super lightweight. And if you look, those are fantastically soft. So soft, and the leather just feels really good, feels really smooth, really nice. It does have that coating on it, so I don't remember what the LazerTouch, I think it's called, is their like synthetic coating that goes over the top that just gives it a little bit of stickiness so you can have a little bit of grip on that ball. And of course, the tiny little engravings on this leather upper will help in some, I don't know, 0.000000001% difference. Sole plate is FG-AG. I don't know. Some people, I get so many questions asking about, like, should I wear FG boots on AG? And I don't know if Puma did this on purpose, but this looks like an FG pair of football boots. I wonder if they did FG-AG stud pattern, like they just said that, so that it was, like, people would stop moaning about how Puma doesn't make an AG-only sole plate. I wonder if they did that. That would be kind of funny. This sole plate I really, really liked. It is a lot of chevron studs, and then it's got 5 chevron studs, 6 bladed studs. So you've got chevron studs up here, bladed studs back there, and it's got that awesome nano grip tech insert, which actually does have a ton of grip. I'm really interested to see how these fit with a pair of grip socks as well, especially because they're leather and there might be some changes to the inside. It doesn't really feel like it. It's still kind of like just a textile upper, like on the inside of the boot. Let's see, it has this little tag on it. It says Ultra Untouchable Speed, Light, Speed, and Finishing. So very clearly marketed towards forwards and wingers and attacking-minded players. So as I mentioned before with the leather, so you've got, there's 2 seam lines. One that goes, you'll probably be able to see it. So one one that goes here, and then on the opposite side, one that goes right there. And what that does is separates the synthetic in the heel and in kind of the, I mean, I don't know, this is like halfway up the midfoot, and then it's got leather basically from here forward. So it's actually quite a bit of leather material. It's definitely more than that Puma Future 1.1 in the LazerTouch edition. I don't actually know how much that's going to affect the feel. I know that the synthetic upper, the knit upper, the Evo knit upper of the normal 1.1 and 1.2 Ultras was super pliable. It had tons of structure because of the like carbon weave in it. I don't remember what the actual term is for what they called that upper, but it was super strong. Like they somehow managed to make it so strong and really good at the lateral stability stuff while also making it really pliable and really easy to get into and break in. And so that's why I loved the Ultras so much, is because they allowed my feet to sort of get into the boot, and the boots stretched and they did such a good job, but it didn't sacrifice a lot of that lateral stability, so it actually felt really awesome to play in. So I'm curious to know how these will go, especially with the leather upper. That's the big question for me, is does that lateral, number one, do they fit even the same? And number two, is the lateral stability compromised at all with the addition of the leather? Because oftentimes leather boots, you wear them for a certain amount of time, and a lot of times for me, because of how wide my feet are, what happens is I actually stop wearing the boots, not because of the fact that they're getting destroyed or the upper broke or the sole plate split or whatever. It's actually because the boot gets so broken in that it's too loose, and then at that point I'm not going to double sock, so I end up just giving them away or selling them for like super cheap or something like that, or throwing them out if they're still kind of destroyed. So that's something to keep in mind. The Ultra does have a little bit of knit still right in the tongue area, and then in my guess is there is a little bit of knit material in this kind of heel area, and then the first half, or the lower half, I guess, if you will, of that midfoot. So these are awesome. They've done a really good thing as well with the lacing system. One of the gripes that I had with the original Ultra was that they had those little strings that attached to the lacing system, and now they actually have holes, which is so much better for getting that lateral stability. And because those little strings, those little like knit weave, I don't know, whatever you call that knit stuff, would actually start splitting way earlier than the boots were even ready to break or ready to be done. So well done, Puma, well done. And the fact that you guys are selling these amazing light boots for $200 US is a really cool thing, and I think you guys are changing the game. So if a Puma rep is listening to this, would love to be sponsored by any boot company, but Puma would be dope because I think they're doing some really cool stuff, and they've got some awesome players, including a fellow American Pulisic, and some other players who wear the Ultra. Obviously the new ones, the Ultra 1.3s, but these leather ones, they're awesome. Let's hop into the on-feet portion of the video where I will show you how they fit and feel, of course, what the sizing is like. These are my normal size 9 US, which is of course what I wore in Australia as well, and then we'll go from there. Very excited, let's hop into it. All right, fam, I've got the Puma Ultra 1.2 in the LazerTouch. It's getting a little sunny out here. I am at my local pitch, Magnuson Park, which is where I played high school soccer, and yeah, absolutely love it here. Okay, so this is the LazerTouch edition. I wore the normal 1.1 and 1.2s for basically my entire second season in Australia for the time that I was there, and they are really fantastic boots, at least in the synthetic, or the knit, I should say, the Evo knit. So we're gonna try these on. I'm very excited to get some touches in, shoot the ball a little bit. You guys will see a lot of B-roll over this as well, so don't worry about that. Here we go. So getting the foot in, and they are pretty stiff right away. Maybe I should get the laces untied a little bit more. Okay, shove my foot in here. I am not wearing any grip socks, so that's something to keep in mind. Okay, wow, right away, definitely a lot stiffer than the normal variation, but I imagine that they will for sure get a little bit looser as I continue to break them in. So let's see.
get this all tied up. As far as sizing goes, I went with my usual size 9 US, which is what I wore in the 1.1 and 1.2s in that knit variation. So that's just, you know, I'm gonna stay with that one, I think. So as far as width goes, they are a bit on the stiff side because they are leather. I will say they are crushing my feet just a little bit, but not in necessarily a bad way, just in the way that's like, okay guys, it's time to break these in a bit. So we'll hop in the other one as well and just get a good feel for how they go. The biggest critique that I had with the Ultra in its knit form was the fact that I had a pretty large gap in between where the top of the boot was and the ankle, and wow, these are crushing my feet. Okay. I don't know how long I'm going to last on this on-feet portion because these are really hurting my feet, especially on that right side. But these are the boots on feet, guys. They have quite a bit of space in the ankle area, so that's the one concern that I do have with these. I don't think these are going to be boots that are going to be in my rotation, but I do imagine that they will break in pretty well. The leather is already starting to feel a little bit softer as my feet are in there, but again, it's just in that midfoot where the synthetic and the leather come together and are stitched together. That's something that is a place where my feet are just getting absolutely crushed right now. So as far as touch goes on the ball, it's a very light barefoot sensation. It definitely feels more padded than the normal knit variation, and of course not as thin as the new version, which is like ultra, pun intended, thin. And it's like the most barefoot sensation you can possibly get on a pair of football boots. Those are pretty fantastic. But as far as like just fit and feel of these, I think they're great. I think they're suitable for most foot types. If you have absolutely crazy fat feet like I do, I don't know, they're pretty stiff. These are a lot, these feel a little bit different than the knit variation. I like the knit variation better, but these are really cool. I'm glad I got to try a pair of these. And overall, I'd say go true to size. And if you don't have absolutely super wide feet, I think these would be totally fine for you. I don't think it would be that big of a deal. So that's something to keep in mind. But again, touch on the ball, super barefoot. The sole plate is really responsive. The lockdown of these boots, if you do fit in them properly, is really actually fantastic. There's a great amount of lateral stability. It feels like the sole plate does a really good job of energy regen and energy return, which is awesome. And then we'll go from there. So again, super nice, fantastic fit on the ball, feel on the ball, and we'll go from there. So I think that's everything as far as these Puma Ultras go. I don't know what else there is to say. If you do want to watch a video of the original 1.1 and 1.2, you can go back and look at those videos, but these are almost identical. They're a little more stiff out of the box, but they are a leather upper, so you will get much more moldability to your feet as you break them in. That's it for the video, guys. If you like this video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, be awesome, take care. I'll see you guys in the next video.